And finally, tonight, two Franciscan friars are traveling nearly 17,000 miles this summer to spread the gospel in the United States and Canada, but there is a catch. Father Casey on the pitcher's mound and Father Tito behind home plate are lifelong baseball fans, and they are following in the footsteps of St. Francis of Assisi. With a modern twist, they are preaching to ordinary people in the spaces where they gather. And in this case, it is by visiting all 30 Major League Baseball stadiums. And Father Casey Cole and Father Tito Serrano join us now. They are called the Bleacher Brothers and maintain the popular website called Breaking the Habit. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. Father Casey, I'd like to start with you. I know that you said this trip has been a goal of yours for many years. Can you tell us more about that and why you feel baseball games are a really good place to evangelize?
Yeah, so it may seem strange as Franciscans to go to these modern places, but this is what Franciscans have always done. We've gone to the marketplaces, to the city squares, to preach to people in language they understand. And so 8 years ago, 9 years ago, Father Tito and I were in novitiate, and we were told that we needed to find a way to do that in our world today. Where are people gathering? And so as baseball fans, we thought, why not go there? And so it's a childhood dream, but it's also a great opportunity to meet people. Baseball is a sport that has a lot of lulls. It has a lot of quiet time, a lot of in between the action, and it lends itself to conversations.
And Father Tito, I want to address you this question. What's been the reaction from everyone there? I mean, have they been receptive to your message?
For the most part, yes. I mean, there's been a lot of different reactions. We've had some people who are very curious, a lot of people who don't know who we are, what we are. And that prompts them to come up and ask, what are you wearing? Why are you wearing that? And they ask that in a myriad of different ways. But yeah, there's been plenty of actually really wonderful conversation. And some people already Catholic know who we are and are very excited about what we're doing. And some people who are not and have never heard of us are intrigued by what we're doing. So, for the most part, it's been very, very positive.
And I'm wondering, what have been some of the highlights so far for you?
I think, especially as a part of the synodal process, it's about talking with people, but it's really about listening to people. We're going to places where people gather that aren't coming to church, and we want to ask the question, why aren't you coming to church? What's your experience like? We might be different, but we're not other. And so I think that's been a really good experience for us to change ourselves. The website that I've run for many years, Breaking in the Habit, it's about kind of like that glove that you have in baseball, the new shoes. You got to break yourself in. You got to warm up to it. And so what are people struggling with that I need to learn, not just they need to learn from me?
That's wonderful. And also, I'm curious, where are you two in the process right now? And what are your next steps?
We're a little over a third of the way through. We've just finished our 13th stadium, and we are on our way tomorrow to the Nationals in D.C. It's going to be very exciting. I've never been there. Father Casey has been there, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it tremendously. What have been maybe some of your favorite places so far?
Every place has its own uniqueness to it, and I think they all are kind of cathedrals in their own way. That said, some are a little more comfortable than others. We've loved Pittsburgh. We love Detroit. We love Fenway Park. We're looking forward to Chicago with Wrigley Field. But there is really something to find in all of it. And I think that's the beauty that is baseball, but it's also just being a Franciscan, being able to find the goodness and even maybe some of the dirty things.
Yeah, and I'm curious also, what were some of the questions that maybe people have asked you along the way?
I think the most common question we get from the get-go is, are you Jedi?
Yes.
And so we kind of laugh. We say, no, we're Franciscan friars, and there's a bit of a blank stare at times. And we say, we're Catholic priests. And awakening starts happening, like, oh, okay, Catholic priests, I've heard of those. And then we engage in conversation, and that a lot of times they ask us questions. Well, sometimes they might see us with a beer in our hand. Are you allowed to drink? Yes, we are. And it begins a conversation where they begin to see, oh, despite the fact that you're dressed kind of oddly, you're very normal.
It's really about a relationship, too. I mean, I think we talk about these high political issues. We talk about right and left. We talk about these things that divide people. But really, it's an essential question of evangelism and people not even knowing the basics of faith. And it starts with saying, that guy looks normal. I trust him. And now maybe we'll have a conversation. And that's what we hope we're doing this summer.
And what would you like people to know about this journey that you're taking?
Well, I think that it's the mission of us all. You could look at us as St. Paul or St. Barnabas or something like that, but really the church spread in the early days because people gossiped the gospel. They shared from their own experience, and we are all called to be missionaries. Jesus sent us all out. So especially for people who don't wear special garb, who aren't in religious vows, you have an opportunity to go into the secular world and to be a witness to the good news.
And any final thoughts before I let you both go?
I just think that, the beauty of what we're doing and what makes it so interesting is as much as we are supposed to seek Jesus out, Jesus first sought us out. And that's what we're trying to do. Jesus went to the marketplaces. That's what Francis was modeling when he told us to do that. He encountered the people and then invited them. And I think we're trying to do the same thing in a very approachable way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you both for speaking with us. God bless you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.